High X-rays were negative, high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains take quite a while to heal. Hopefully it's not more than a couple weeks. But it's good news, because when you see him limp off the field, you have no idea what it is or how severe it is. I mean, he'll recover naturally from an ankle sprain. It just, sometimes high ankle sprains take a while.
Right or left?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. Which one was it, Mike? Right or left? Left one? Yeah.
What do you think of Chase Price? I mean, he didn't get many carries in the last game. I said that, and he didn't get many carries in the first half, but then come in and just.
I thought Chase ran the ball really well. He ran it hard. He had a couple seams in there, and he popped a couple of them and got some big gains. The one at the end of the game was great, because then we could run the clock out. I mean, that was something special. But Chase stepped in and did what he's supposed to do. And, you know, he's a good running back in his own right. Probably not quite as fast as Pumphrey, but he does some other things maybe even a little bit better. He had a great game.
He really ran straight to holes today, Rocky.
Chase always does, though.
Yeah. He didn't do much side to side.
Well, I don't think there was any side to side. I think our game plan going into the game is we were going to try to run it right at him, and eventually it would work. When people try to do that, it doesn't usually work early. That first drive was something much better than I anticipated the first drive was going to be, because we were not going to throw a ball in the first drive. That was pre-planned. Every play was going to be a running play to set up the image of what this game was supposed to be all about. And them taking it down and score, I didn't anticipate that, to be honest with you. So that was just an added bonus.
Was the performance of your defense turned in today also what you had in mind for the image of what this game was supposed to be all about?
Well, I mean, I'll have to go back and look. Statistically, it looks unbelievable. I'm not sure it was unbelievable. I mean, I thought the defense played as hard as they could play. I thought they were as physical as they could be, and it worked this time. I mean, there's other times they play that hard and they play that physical, and it doesn't come out like that. But obviously, they were ready to play. You know, that was two desperate teams out there that wanted to win really bad. That's kind of old-style football that was being played out there, but that was two teams that wanted to win really, really bad. The players really got after one another, and it wasn't as chippy as I thought it was going to be, because I knew they were going to come to fight, and I knew our guys were going to come to fight. So I thought it might be a little chippier than it was. So I thought the kids did a nice job of handling their emotions on both sides, their side and our side. But they were struggling just like we're struggling. I mean, sometimes we forget they're young men of college age. Guess what? They try. They try every time, and then we get down on them when they don't win, like they're pro athletes. They're not pro athletes. I'll tell you, I've been in the locker room just like the Fresno State locker room right now. Those are great kids, and they played their hearts out, and they lost. This is not professional football, and sometimes we try to make it like that.
Is this the type of win, Rocky, that you feel your guys can really gain confidence from?
I think we'll gain some confidence. We're gonna have to be more diverse on offense than we were tonight. I mean, we're going to have to be able to throw the ball a little bit better on 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5 to get a first down. You know, the big plays were all set up by running it. I mean, the one to Rashad Penny, those two DBs were at the line of scrimmage when Maxwell turned to throw the ball. I mean, they were standing within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. And now the other one was just a great throw. And I mean, we beat them deep, and the ball was right on the money. So Eric Judge did a nice job of getting behind him and catching the ball, but the throw was right on the money too. So for us to continue to have a chance to win, we're going to have to be a lot more diverse on offense. We're going to have to throw it better than we're doing it now.
How big was it having that interception waved off at the end of the first half?
Well, it was big because that was the right call.
Well, I mean, given what's going on the last
Well, I mean, that's the good thing that now it's good that we're on TV where they had 8 or 9 cameras. Because with 8 or 9 cameras, when the officials make the wrong assumption of what happened, usually the replays can fix it. I mean, there was another one too that they tried to give him a complete pass that wasn't complete. It was right on our sidelines. You could see the ball hit the ground twice, and both officials on our sideline called it complete. It didn't look complete to me. I saw the ball bounce twice. So I don't know. I mean, they make mistakes, and I'm glad there's instant replay to fix it.
Rocky, during this week's press conference, you kind of squarely laid a lot of the offensive struggles on the offensive line. Tonight they opened the holes with 250-some rush yards. Did you see the type of improvement you wanted out of them?
Yeah, I said that during the week, but I also said that I thought in the second half of the Penn State game that they played much, much better, and it looked like they were starting to do what they were supposed to do on the running game. I said I didn't think their pass protection was that good, especially at Penn State, but in the running game I saw a glimmer of hope in the second half of the Penn State game, and they played like that tonight. So hopefully that's something we can count on happening.
When you say you start out with 17 running plays, we wanted to show what the game was supposed to be, how did you guys see that before the game? What did you want the game to be?
No, I think we try to build our team on heart and toughness. And the only way to prove you're tough is to run the ball. And then I have a belief that if you can run the ball like we did tonight, eventually it wins the game for you. I mean, the one long pass to Eric Judge, that's a throw and a catch and a drop back. The one to Rashad Penny, that is totally because we were running the ball so good. And what it does is helps the defense, especially against spread teams that want to go hurry up. They're not on the field. They're sitting on the bench. They can't gain yards and score points when they're sitting on the bench. So, you know, if you can run the ball consistently and continue to get first downs and run the clock, there's some quarterbacks that never get into a groove. It's hard to get in a groove when you're sitting on the sidelines. So today the game plan worked. So today everybody's happy. But to be honest with you, I feel sorry for the guys in the other locker room because I envisioned what our locker room would be like if we lost.
You talk a lot about progression and how it was successful today. Now Humphrey out. Penny, should we expect to see him more? I know he's using the passing game a lot today. He had that hurdle. Will he be taking snaps from the back end or?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I would think that might happen. I mean, Marcus Stamps is healthy too now, and he's a pretty good running back in his own right too. But you saw the offensive staff did a nice job tonight getting Rashad more into the game plan, getting the ball to him more often, different ways. And I'm sure that will, especially with pump out, that'll increase dramatically.
If you were going to have to lose him, do you feel like you guys are more well-stocked than you?
I mean, I think we've got good running backs. I mean, obviously he's something special. So if you lose someone like him, your chances of winning are less. I don't know how big the difference is, but you don't have as good a chance to win without a Pumphrey. I mean, we're happy that it's nothing serious, that we're going to get him back with maybe 4 or 5 games left, which could really, if we can play well enough, could really help us down the stretch. But that's probably our deepest position, yes.
Yeah, can there be a silver lining because you get to see more of these other guys and they get to realize what they can be sooner than they would have made?
That's good positive thinking. Maybe I'll convince myself that way.
But when Penny has shown so much
Mm-hmm.
in a small window that I mean, you have to be pretty comfortable with who's behind Price now in him. I mean,
Yeah, but you haven't seen him do anything yet running between the tackles, right?
sure.
You've seen him. Everything he's done is on the perimeter. There might be a reason for that.
I don't know, you've seen him run between tackles in practice, right? It's great.
Well, now in practice, he doesn't get hit. No, he's all right between the tackles. He's all right between the tackles, and I'm sure his part in the game plan will increase dramatically. Does that mean it's a silver lining? I'm not sure. You lose a guy like Pumphrey, I'm not sure that's a silver lining. But it's good that that's our deepest position.
Rocky, you talked about this game as being old school football, mentioned the running aspect of that, but the defensive aspect. I mean, 89 yards, a lot of big hits. How much would you have to see that as old school football, if you will, defensive toughness?
I see that as a combination of the offense and the defense. I thought they had a lot of trouble getting into a rhythm because they weren't out there very much. Now, I thought the defensive kids played their hearts out. I thought the coverage was good. I thought the rush was good, and they really struggled running the ball. And I think that's due to our players knowing what their assignments are and playing really hard. And then when you have a quarterback that has trouble getting in the groove because he's not out there, I don't know how many passes he threw. How many passes? 25? I anticipated 50 or 60 passes today. But I don't know how many plays. How many plays do they have? I mean, they're used to having 90 to 100 plays. How many plays did they have? 47? See?
It's a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah, but it's hard to get into a rhythm, too. If you're sitting on the bench for 5 and 6 minutes at a time, it's hard to get into a rhythm, especially at quarterback. And then I think they came in the game wanting to run it a little bit more, and our players did a nice job of not letting them run it. That's not scheme. That's the exact places we put them all the time. So someone was beating a block and making tackles.
Sorry to be a downer, but can you talk about the one touchdown they did score, with breakdown?
Now, why would you bring that up, Ruben? He broke contain, which gave him some more time, and we were in his own coverage. And when the quarterback breaks contain and gets himself more time, the offensive receivers are taught certain things. The ones onside go deep, and the ones offside come across the field. So one of them went deep, and we had him covered at the beginning. And one of the crossing routes came right between the middle of the end zone and the guy that was standing next to the guy that was deep. He jumped the crossing route because he saw him open, and the quarterback threw it over his head to the guy that was in the corner of the end zone. Most of that was caused because the quarterback got out of the pocket and was able to get more time, and the receivers could run around and find an open spot. Way to dull the moment.
What led to that was Mills' second month line, second straight week, and then Casey was there for the remainder of the game. Or should we expect Casey for us or going into next week? Or
No. I mean, DeMonte might be the starter now, but Lloyd's a good player. Lloyd does some special things on punt returns when he catches the ball. Him dropping punts in the last 2 games, that's not acceptable. You could ask him, and he'd probably say the same thing. But once again, I'm going to say this is not pro football. People get more chances than a couple. I mean, if every time someone made a mistake out there and I told them they couldn't play anymore, we wouldn't have anybody to play with. You know, in the pros, you could cut the guy and go try to find another punt returner. This is college football. He'll be back there again.